with the punchline delivered by our dynamic Prime Minister, that is local ke liye vocal bane. I commence my today's topic, which is your chromatography. Not saying much about the PM's callings, as it is a matter of self-realization and I think moreover implementation. So children, let's begin the today's topic, which is your chromatography, and I hope that it remains interesting for you. In fact, interesting indeed. So just get set for the adventurous topic, that is your chromatography. Yes, it involves some adventure also. I will tell you how it involves some little non-conventional thing. First, try to know that what's it which I am calling chromatography. Chromatography naturally is a separation method only, because we are studying about the separation method since our last video classes. I am giving you ideas about the different modes of separation, and in the previous video lecture I given you the ideas about the simpler separation method. Now I am moving towards little more challenging and complex separation methods also. I told you that the mixture can be surely separated, but I didn't tell at that time that the mixture can be surely separated but easily also separated. Easily can be separated and with difficulty also, but it can be separated. Now I am telling this. With difficulty also means with some combined processes, with some combined methods also we can separate, but we will separate it successfully, that's for sure. There is no doubt in it. So don't get scared that it's going to be a very difficult process to know, but yes, it will demand little much your more intelligence and focus towards it. So try to understand it very well, that it is a technique to separate the components of a mixture. But here what type of mixture here also will be a colloidal solution. A colloidal solution which has two phases. One is your dispersion medium, another is your dispersed phase. Dispersion medium is the fluid medium, and the dispersed phase which is actually the solute which remains in the held up position in the medium or solvent. Now it more than separation, again I am telling you little contradictory thing, that more than separation chromatography is used to identify. Because why it is used to identify? Because here we are taking that type of mixture in which in a single solvent more than one type of solutes are added. So to understand what are these solutes which are hidden inside the single solvent, we take a chromatogram, which is a device, you can say, to find out that or to identify the different solutes by its solubility. So the solubility is actually, the solubility of the components actually is the deciding factor here. During chromatography, we call the dispersion medium as a mobile phase, and the chromatogram in which this fluid moves is called a stationary phase. That you will always remember. Mobile phase is the fluid, and the chromatogram is a porous material that has the process of capillarization going on in it. Capillarization, which is actually a phenomena in which the fine capillary tubes can involve rising the fluid inside them. Like our body hairs are also a very good example of capillary tubes. These capillary tubes do the capillarization because our hair grows. How does it grow? It grows by taking the nutrients from our body. So these nutrients are taken from the body itself, and that is a good example of your capillarization. Like when you keep some water in an earthen pot, you will see that the water starts coming outside and the outer wall of the earthen pot also becomes wet. How does it happen? Because clay is also a porous material, and these pores of the clay actually act like the capillary tubes, and these capillary tubes are very fine hair-like structure in which water starts rising. So finer is the capillary tube, higher will be the height of the fluid that will be achieved inside the capillary tube, and this process is called capillarization. There are different types of chromatography, boys, but in class 9 basically we have to study about the paper chromatography. Apart from that, if you have interest in science and if you intend to study it in your higher classes, then you will study more about the sand, column, liquid and gas chromatographies as well. Let us try to understand what is paper chromatography. Paper chromatography is that type of chromatography in which we try to, by using this paper chromatography, we try to identify the different colored pigments which are present in the ink, dyes or in the flower extracts, etc. Yes, basically it is used to identify the color pigments present in a colloidal mixture. Now try to understand on what principle does it work. Actually it works on the principle of capillarization that I have told you, and apart from the capillarization, solubility. So different colors which are present in a particular ink. Suppose that you have taken a red ink or black ink or blue ink, so it appears a single color, but actually it is a mixture of different colors which are dissolved in the solvent, which is water either or any non-aqueous solvent, and they together mix to form a single color. So red, blue or green etc. colors have there are more colors in it, but they are hidden. So just to reappear the hidden colors, to make them reappear, we do what? That we do its chromatography by using a paper chromatogram. What happens that these different pigments are the different substances, and every substance has its fixed solubility in water at a particular temperature. So they start moving in the paper chromatogram, which has the fine capillaries, and they move because they are the mobile phase, they are the fluid mediums, and at one time it comes and a time comes when it stops moving. So when it stops moving, its solubility gets over. That it indicates when the movement of the your mobile phase stops or checks, then the solubility is over. So this is the activity provided in your NCERT book to identify the different color or different dyes present in a single color by using a chromatogram. The activity is very simple also. If I will explain, you can do it yourself also, and you will find it very interesting as well. So let us start understanding this activity. Try to understand what has been done in this activity. Nothing but difficult, but a simple filter paper has been taken, and we cut the filter paper in an rectangular shape, and what we do that we draw a line just 1 inch above the lower edge of the filter paper like this, and then in the middle of the line we put a mark of the choice of our color. If you may can take green color or blue color, but we have chosen black color. Black color ink has been marked just in the middle of the filter paper, and then we hang it with the help of a pencil. You can do it with the help of a pencil or a glass rod. With the help of a glass rod, we do it in the lab, and then we take a beaker and we half fill the beaker with the water, and we keep the lower edge of the chromatogram in the contact of water. Now, since the filter paper is a porous material, it will start absorbing the water because the lower edge of the filter paper is in the contact of water. So water will start rising in the capillary tubes. Porous materials means porous, it is a paper material. We are doing the paper chromatography, and paper is an absorbent material. It can absorb water. So the water will start getting absorbed in the finer capillary tubes present in the paper. Now the water will rise above, and it will come in the contact of the ink that has been marked over the chromatogram. Then it will dissolve the ink. Yes, try to understand every step, because water is a solvent. It will try to dissolve the ink in it. Then with the dissolution of ink, I am not saying full or incomplete or half, but whatever is the solubility, the ink has different colors. These colors will start dissolving in the water, and the capillarization action is going on. So the ink will start traveling in the chromatogram with the mobile phase, which is your fluid medium, and here it is water. What will happen? The different colors, be it blue or yellow or green, whatever color mixed together to form the black color, they have their own solubility in water. So they will travel in the water, and the capillary tube will differentiate these colors. Why? Because the solubility of these different color will get over at one time. Depending upon their higher or lower solubility, they will stop dissolving more in the water, and as soon as they will stop dissolving, they will appear over the chromatogram, means they will come out from the capillary tube. As soon as they are moving inside the capillary tube, they are hidden, but when their solubility gets over, they will appear on the capillary tube and make a mark on the chromatogram as a patches. So at different heights, the patches are obtained on the chromatogram, and these patches signal us or indicates us of the different colors which mix together to form the single color of ink, which is here black. So children, I hope that with my effort you are trying to understand the functioning of the chromatography. Now try to understand what is its application. Whenever we are understanding or we are studying any separation method, it means that it has some wider application in our day-to-day life. So apart from identifying the different colors from the dyes, flower extract and inks, etc., we have seen in today's world where the crime is at its peak. It is used in the forensic labs to identify the different drugs which have been dissolved in the blood. Yes, suppose that a person suicides or he has been killed by consumption of poison, or he has been given poison forcefully by mixing it in the food. The poison goes in his stomach, and then by the stomach it gets absorbed and it goes in the blood also. So just that sample of the blood is taken from the body, and the chromatography is done. Since the different substances which are used as a medicine or the poisonous substances, they have their also own solubility. Every substance has its fixed solubility. So on the chromatogram, they stop moving after a certain period of time. And then what is done, actually here it is done by the process of centrifugation. The blood sample is taken in the test tube, and then it is small centrifuges are used in the your pathological labs or diagnostic labs, where it is moved very vigorously inside the test tube, and then it does what, that it forces your blood pigments, which are the, you can say, dispersed phase, towards the bottom of the test tube, and the dispersion medium, which is your water, is also maximum part of the water is present in the blood, is at the upper level. So now then it is water is decanted, and then the blood pigments which are coagulated at the bottom are taken, and they are tested on the with the help of paper chromatography, and the different medicines, or you can say the harmful or toxic substances which are present in the blood, are identified. So it's a little complex process, but a very useful also to stop the crime. This was my today's topic. I tried to give you enhanced idea on the chromatography, and naturally in my coming video lectures we will discuss more and more about the separation methods only.